Okay, I'd like to start by acknowledging that this meeting is respectfully held on the traditional territory of the Sycos First Nation, on whose land we live, work, and play. We have an agenda circulated. Would somebody like to move adoption? Seconder? Any additions or deletions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. We have the minutes from the May 13th regular council meeting. Would somebody like to move adoption? Seconder? Second. Any errors or omissions there? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. We don't have any bylaws, so we'll move on to delegations. Vanderhoof Farmers Market. Grace and Utah, come on up. Grace, okay. Oh, sorry.
Of the council, and I see another part of the team. My name is Grace Hardy. I'm the current market manager of the Vanderhoof Farmers Market. I'm here with Jutta. She was the manager for 4 years, you know her, and now she's a vendor and part of the board of the farmers market. I'm going to try to do this fast. I know that I have 10 minutes, but it's a challenge for me to do it in English, you know. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak with you today. We are excited to present the Vanderhoof Farmers Market, a vibrant community initiative that brings together local farmers, artisans, and residents. Our market not only supports local agriculture and small businesses, but also fosters a sense of community and connection among our residents. We are here to share the significant economic and social impact the market has had on our town, as well as to discuss some little projects, potential projects that could further enhance its benefits. With your support, we believe the farmers market can continue to grow as a cornerstone of our local economy and a beloved gathering place for all. Thank you for your time and consideration. So the agenda is introduce a little bit the farmers. You know the farmers more than me, so I'm going to be brief. And share the results of the economical impact study that it was an initiative from the BC Farmers Market Association in cooperation with the UBC. The report we sent, had a little mistake, so I asked to Dr. Connell from the UNBC to recalculate the results, so it's something different. It's not exactly what is there in your version. Share some a piece of data of the vendors and products in the 2023, and finally our projects and requirements. Questions, ideas, suggestions, all the time, please. So our mission is to foster a happy spirit by providing a vibrant market where farmers, artisans, bakers, chefs, and musicians can thrive, and where residents can enjoy a diverse array of products while strengthening the social fabric of the community, and for sure where everyone is welcome. We have conscience that the market takes place on the unceded and traditional territories of the Sycos First Nations. About the economic impact study, well, it's the BC Farmers Market Association in cooperation with the UNBC did a sample of several farmers markets in the province in the 2016, and they decided to repeat it this last year, and they select us. So they select 70 farmers markets from 135 that the whole province has. So we had the UNBC in our market the June 29 last year. The methodology is a rapid market assessment technique developed by the Oregon State University and consists in an interactive service with some questions to the shoppers and the people there, crowd counts, and one-on-one interviews with the market shoppers and nearby businesses. So The way they calculate this is in their report. I'm not going to tell you, but they have a formula and they get finally an annual economic impact on the local economy of $2 million the whole season, and an annual direct sales of 1.34 million. So we are really happy to receive this. This notice is really amazing, really good for the market. The picture there shows the DOT survey. They put some boards and the people just with a little dot mark their preferences. Other results it was good to know that over 40,000 visits and 30,000 shoppers annually we have in the market. The 7% is self-identified as tourists or day trippers. And this information was good for us because we need to focus into increase that number. So one of the projects we want to go forward with it is exactly this. Even we are advertising more in the vacation planner, the radio stations. We are trying to kind of call more and more customers. The 61% of the visit the farmers market either regularly or frequently. And the total estimated number of people attending on Thursday, June 29th, the day of the study, was 1,560 people. And we had a lot of rain the last hour. So it was a really good number. And the quality produced is the main reason that the people say why they come. Here's some picture of when they are setting up their tents and trailers. I select this because surprised me. We are over the average in number of shoppers. The total 70 markets they sample. And for sure, if you see the report here, you can see the others who have more crowd they are big cities or part of some areas of Vancouver and Kelowna or places like that. So we are really happy with this. As I say, the quality produced is the first reason the people choose the market, but also, and it's important for us to know, is the local to support local. And we are happy to hear also that it's a social experience for 13% of the people. We really feel that, and we are happy around that. That is about the economic impact study. There's not much more in the report, but these are the principal results. Some piece of data of the last season. Well, we accomplished with 17 markets during the season, not night markets. 80 vendors we had, athletes coming 1, 3, 7, 17 times. We accomplished 12 years of operation, and there's a picture of our inauguration day or celebration, and 100% wholeheartedly committed to the community. Yeah. I had my period of to be a politician. Without a party, but I was in Chile. So the peak of vendor was in August, 346 vendors. This is a really good number. The years before, the average was 30, 35. During the pandemic, less for sure. But we really have fun with all that vendors. And September goes down a little bit, normal, but we closed the market with 32 vendors on September 28. Who are the vendors? Well, the 75% of the vendors are from Vanderhoof, people from here, and the rest are from the towns near us, and there's a 10% of vendors from Prince George. And one from Kelowna, but he is very important because he's a is the fruit vendor with the peaches and what else? Tomatoes, things. Chill. And the market categories, we have an 18% of producers. They are the veggies producer, vegetables from farms, honey, eggs, meat. So it's a really important number for us. We have to maintain as up as we can that number, but also including the food processor and the producer, we have a 56% doing things with food here. And as you see, we have a lot of artists in this town. The 41% is are presenting art things, crafting, beautiful things, jewelry. Well, I suppose that all of you know the, the market more than me. During the last season, 19 not-profit organizations, well, not all are not-profit, but they accompany us. So we have a special area for them, and they do YMCA, Access Community Resources Family, Connexus Community Resource. They also have some little games with the kids, so they really have a contribution there. The same with the student center. There's Wendy. I really like that picture. She doesn't know that it's here. We had an average of 5 organizations attended each week. So yeah, and the Fire Smart program was a good one, and they already booked for this year. So we can't cancel the farmers market, as he say. Well, our projects to improve our behavior, we need to improve some things like the power system. We on April we had a meeting with Mayor Motris saying that I'm going to show that then. Maybe a little improvement of the music stage, the recycle bins. I talked with Jenny. Lawn maintenance. Now it's full of grass. It's really beautiful. I hope this summer will not be so dry as the last one. And a future project that we're thinking of is to install 2 billboards in the highway 16. Here is the mess we have. If you see, there's beside the water park is the box, the gypsy box with 100 amperes available, and the arrows there indicate that some food vendors need energy, the coffee makers, the inflatable castle, the music, and some freezers for the meat vendors are demanding energy. So some of them have generators, but we struggled last year with the amount of energy. So one of the things that we talk with Mayor here is to see the possibility to improve the amount of power available. About the music stage, if you see there is Alan Trampa, and the place where the music is sinking, is a slope there, so it's not comfortable, and also they are on the grass. So if you see, there's a lot of musical gears and instruments and devices. So what we ask is if the district can make flat that area and put some cement slabs or something like that in a area of 12 by 12 to take care of the music equipment. Oh, I was there when Randy came. I said, "Oh no, that is super easy. We can do it very fast." He said that. Thank you. Yeah, and it's not that thing. Well, and the recycled beans are from Jenny. I said, "Oh, I want to do some recycling. Oh, we have some here. Maybe we can buy some recycled bins for you. We know, as we talk with the mayor too, that the people don't have they just put the garbage everywhere. But our commitment is to be there at the beginning. I have a boy that is help me in the morning and in the afternoon, so we can talk with the people until we actually, yeah, train our community. And the other commitment is that we are in charge of what we collect there. But we need the beans. Most of the musicians come with their own sound gear. We have one that is from the district, but it's not super power. For the moment, it's okay, but maybe in the future, with our ideas of to be more and more visited by everybody, maybe it will be important or to improve that part too. But the platform is perfect. About the lawn, uh, the lawn, grass in general is there, but in summer it's super dry. It was not, I took kind of 3,000 pictures last year, and it was not easy for me to find some picture with the floor because I tried to not see the floor in my pictures because of Instagram and Facebook. So now the grass there today is really good. So watering in summer could be be extremely helpful. Once in a week, for example. Well, let's go with the last. This idea is in a very profile idea statement. We think it will to have this billboards on the way could be helpful. Even there are a lot of billboards. There's a new one, the Suchi. I saw it today, I think. But it's money, always is money. I did a little budget with somebody helped me, and it's around $3,000 each, maybe less. And the location depends, but the owners rent between 900 and 1,200 per year approx. So our question here is, can we present this project for funding into the district grant in aid? That is our question. The Vanderhoof Farmers Market is one of the cheapest markets for vendors. The payment is $15 per day. And our annual balance is nearly zero. All what we get, we pay musicians, and the advertisement, my salary, and helpers, and so the balance is really zero. So the season is. You want to say something there?
I was wondering if I can add something to this, because on the weekend I had the opportunity to speak to a director from NKDF, and we talked about this, and he said, please apply for the grant, the $5,000 grant. I can almost guarantee you that you will get it. But as we all know, NKDF only sponsors 50% of the project. So if the district that would spend money anyway would commit to the other 50%, then we could apply for that, and that 5,000. But
yeah. And my husband is able to help me in the installation. Yeah, really. So we can negotiate the price.
They really like it.
Oh yeah, I have to inform him. So that, well, the season 2024 is here. We are starting next Thursday. I'm happy because it's here. So questions, suggestions, ideas, complaining, answers.
Okay, we'll start with Councillor Ballmer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It's wonderful. I'm a huge supporter and a fan of the Vanderhoof Farmers Market. When you look around the province, do farmers markets get funding from any other places? They're like a farmers market umbrella organization that you guys apply to for funding, or is your funding just what you raise locally and around that?
Just what you raised. There's some grants that you can, small grants like the shed that we built, that was a grant.
Yeah.
But it's very small grants.
Yeah, yeah. We were participating this year in $500 grant to buy some tents and tables to offer to First Nation kids, entrepreneurs, or nonprofit.
It's called the
Organization.
Inclusivity Grant.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Okay.
are
Very
available,
little.
but very, and usually the market is its own organization.
Okay, thank you very much. And once again, I'm a super fan, so.
Oh, that's good.
Any other questions?
For suggestions, ideas. Open.
Check.
Yeah, Haiti.
Councillor Lozzie?
So thank you, Grace and Utah. I agree. What I really appreciate probably the most is the community social piece of the farmers market, and it is a wonderful time. But I'm just wondering, do you foresee, like, how do you think as you're growing and it's become so popular, and now, you know, if we do some concrete, that's more of a permanent fixture. Do you see yourself outgrowing this space? I love the location because it's accessible to everybody. It's accessible to the folks who want to walk for lunch and things like that. I think that that's very, very good. But I'm just wondering, how do you foresee it in the future growing, and will you outgrow that place or that space?
Well, we have an extension area.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Well, we are looking for us, yeah, it's where the food garden is. In fact, we are going to put out the sweetened cone, the sweetened
Sweet
and
foods.
They are planning their retirement, so they will come with the trailer, and we are going to put it in the back where the
You know, when you go up to the,
here. Well,
there,
here,
yeah.
yeah. Well, here you say ice cream there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so now we are growing to this 45 will be here, and this will be open a little bit.
Okay.
And the new areas are where this is. Anyway, we are not regulating the market at the moment.
Okay.
So everybody, yeah, one,
Nobody
come.
wants to.
Yeah, and I
No,
understand that.
and
Yeah.
we are not regulating in terms of this, of say, oh, we have 50 spots. If you subscribe, it's okay. If not, you are out. It's kind of tricky. We have kind of 30 vendors permanent, and we have 50 more, or this year more, that are occasional. So sometimes
Okay.
they want to come and everything. So, but at the moment, we think it's okay.
Okay.
Regulate is maybe we have to regulate one day if the data here about this one, the PC Farmers Market Association has some rules that we
Mm-hmm.
are on that, and we need the 50% at least of food producers or food producers, and we are in the 56%.
Okay.
So the crafting and the other thing can grow, but that will be our limit.
I see. Okay. So you're kind of bound by that.
That is the only regulation we have.
Okay. I
And
see.
not parking.
Not parking.
I repeat that to the vendors all the time. Do not park around there.
Yeah.
Do not park.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh, that's not your mic, Heidi. Well, that's not even on my. It's
I will talk
going to
loud.
Ben.
I can talk loud. So just a couple things, because I do look after the parks. So I did have Randy bring some stuff forward after talking to you, and I also had Jeannie bring some stuff forward. My concern is the fact that you're growing so fast that I think you're eventually going to have to move to Riverside. So my worry is that we put in, I have information that I got from Buds to see the cost of what it would cost to put in another power pole. So we're looking at about 6,000 or 7,000 to do that. If we were to put in cement for a stage, we're looking at in between 4 or 5 plus the labor of staff to put that in. I have ordered you recycle bins, so they're on their way. And I have fixed your power box, so it shouldn't be shorting out on you as long as we don't have any more plug into that. So Buds is taking care of that too. Yeah. The one thing with moving to Riverside, and I know you guys probably know this, but maybe council's not aware, is we don't have to put in any extra power by you guys moving down there. And I know you love the location, but it would save the DOV from having to put in power if we moved it to Riverside. So I just wanted to point that out because you are growing, and I'd hate for us to spend all this money and then you guys end up going down there anyway, right? So I just wanted to voice that just so everybody's aware of those little things.
Well, I think if this go, probably will need to be regulated because nobody wants to go. And, you know, one of the wonderful things about the social aspect is the location. So you kind of keep the core, the senior suite beside, you know, every Thursday at 10 in the morning, all the girls are there having a coffee and talking. And so that is untiable. So it's kind of, I don't know.
Good.
I just see us.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Grace and Yuta. That was a very good presentation. Thank you.
Oh,
I know, eh? Okay, moving on. 6.1. We've got a zoning amendment recommendation there, and it's you bet. Did anybody want to speak to this or just jump straight in? I thought that's where you go into the microphone.
I was stopping the sharing on the screen. Sorry. So this is a zoning application from the owners of the Homestead Inn. They own the property with the trailer across on Fraser, and they would like to rezone to get it in compliance with the home-based business and residents. And that it agrees, the zoning agrees with the OCP, so we also need the resolution to waive the public hearing because it doesn't qualify as a housing development under the new legislation.
Anybody want to make a motion? We have a seconder? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. 6.2, we have a new policy at the VTCC.
So that is
Was it
just an amendment. It
Yeah.
came up to council. So there are more amendments to come, but this is just a quick one to not permit alcohol in the VTCC.
So we'd like to move the recommendation? Seconder? Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay. 6.3, RDBN referral.
This is me again, and this is just a referral they have to bring a home into compliance, so that it's just a referral to the district to see if we have any feedback. And just to be clear, the district doesn't say yes or no, they decide whether it goes, what they say to the ALC. The ALC makes the decision.
Yeah. Move to receive? Oh, you want to do nothing?
You want to do nothing? Or do you want to move the motion,
The recommendation.
the recommendation?
Okay. Seconder? Any further discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay. UBCM minister meeting topics.
So this is just back with, from the conversation at the last meeting, if there, Councillor Frankel said he would assist in some and any subject matter experts, but before we start writing out the requests, if there's anything, any other points to add. There's some updates in the health one. And
Councillor Lozay.
Okay. Did we kind of decide on the ones, or we are right now that we'd like to bring
So-
forward? Okay. And so we'll go through that and decide which ones we need to bring forward. Is that how it's going to work, or? Because I do want to, I'm looking at the response from the minister regarding hydro. And I guess the question I have in that response, Hydro's response was that they will assess customer connection requests and focus on highest priority. And my question was, how do you qualify as a priority? So I would really like to understand that, because it's really hard to know why service isn't happening if we don't understand what the priority sequence is.
So that would be keeping hydro on as a follow-up to last year. Because
Yeah.
we didn't get anywhere, then
We
that could
never-
be part of the discussion then as we
Okay.
go. Is that
Oh,
good
okay,
with you?
I guess that's what I'm asking. I'm not sure.
Does that suit Willeen?
Okay.
Any other subjects, comments?
Oh,
Councillor Lozay.
oh, gee whiz. The empty vacant lots piece as well, that is still kind of a concern, and I think that one should be brought forward, and then I guess we're just gonna hash out the details. So, okay, perfect. I'd like to see the brown.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Anybody else? Turning your mic off before you can get for it. Anybody else? Anything further? So I think, Willeen, as we go through this, we can divvy out subject matter experts and tap shoulders as we go. Is that good with you? Okay. Do we need any kind of motion there, or is that just good as? Okay. Councillor Items. Start with Councillor Martins. Sorry, I should turn your mic on too.
Yeah, thanks. I really don't have anything since our last meeting that we wanted to mention, other than just, as we've all discussed privately with the event on Saturday, I thought it certainly wasn't a District of Vanderhoof sponsored event, but we had good representation there. And, as far as, most of us in the room were there and involved in it. So I thought that was good. It went really well, and it was a good event that we were part of, not the lead, but being part of it and supporting it. So I thought that turned out really well. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
So Councillor Vandola and myself attended the Nechako Kitimat Development Fund Board meeting. Craig Smith hosted us in his house over at the fire hall, and we had a lot of people on board there. I got to meet people that I had known in the past, but there's a lot of new people that I met on that as well. And they explained a little bit more about Jedi, because I didn't understand what Jedi was. So Dave Christie did a good job of that. It was a really good gathering, and there was lots of people there, and David might have some extras to pass along about that as well. I also attended the Chamber of Commerce meeting recently, getting very, very a good response to Shelley actually going out and talking to businesses, and that while I was there, Shelley mentioned they had brought in three more members to the chamber at that time. So we're up to around 117 members now. They're really working hard at doing some events, and we've been to some of them in the past here recently, and there's more coming up. And I'm really looking forward actually to this weekend and what the chamber has planned. Like it looks like a really good festival weekend this weekend in our town, and I'm looking forward to it. And as Ernest said, I also attended the thing on Saturday night for the Jim Valance Excellence in Music Scholarship. I think it's a good thing for our town. I think Councillor Young will agree with me that not enough funding goes into the arts, and music especially, in the education system these days. So when you can bring in a little extra money from outside and then you get the endorsement and that of someone with the stature of Jim Valance, it helps create it. And we created a fund now that's going to be in perpetuity and go forever. So be great. And that's all I have.
Yeah, thanks. Like, as Tom said, our Councillor Bulmer said that attended the Chaco Kitimat Development Fund open house at the fire hall there. It was the piece that was really interesting for me is I didn't know people on the board, and then you go in there and you're going like, oh geez, there's Jamie Nielsen and there's Tom Clemens, and like there's people that you didn't know that were part of that group, right? And so that was really great. And then as Councillor Bulmer indicated, Dave Christie did give a nice presentation, just kind of give it the background of what JEDI is all about and the types of projects they're looking to fund, and just the footprint and the geographic area that they cover was pretty neat. And then the other thing for me is I got the cataract surgery complete, and now I've just been back and forth doing the eye drops and all the weird stuff to get. There's a month of that I have to go through, but yeah, my distance vision's great, but now because of that, my close vision's kind of crappy. So now I have to go to the pharmacy and get the $21
Magnifying glasses.
Anyway, it shouldn't hurt my refereeing at all. I know. That's it for me.
Should have kept that in camera. No, let them know.
Since the last meeting, just the one, just same with Councillor Martins and Bulmer and Mayor. We definitely attended a really fun event, and I think going back to the comment that Councillor Bulmer made about the arts and all these cultural events in our community, every time he holds something, I wouldn't say like this because it was kind of a special one and one-off kind of thing, but something around the arts and our students and other opportunities for young folks, the huge support that we get. So just, and I know luckily this council does believe in that and doing things for the youth and doing things in terms of finding ways to do more for culture in our community. I mean, you talk about the lack of funding, but it's always the people that are around that really support it. And the fact that we're so holding down the only band program in this district is because of the support that I think we do get. And so it's really important to remember those things and to make sure that we continue to support it, because it's really easy for things to go away if we're not able to be on top of it. So just another good news story, I think. So anyway, that's all for me.
So on May 21st, I attended the library board meeting, and I just, they've just enacted, I guess, a code of conduct policy for patrons. They've experienced lots of disruptive behavior recently from teenagers during school and after school. And so they've just deemed that it's, they just needed to have some kind of policy that and consistently that they can fall back on and say, okay, in this situation, this is what we're going to do. So they've just enacted that. Well, and it's after school. It's like they're just abusing it. It's great that they want to make a welcoming place, but it needs to be comfortable for all the patrons, not just a small group. As well, they were happy to hear that we're passed a motion for a service agreement, and they're really hoping that January 2025, that would be something they could sign on to. On May 23rd, Dolores Funk, who is the senior planner for the regional district of Bulkley-Nechako, came to town, and her and I had a coffee. She just wanted to catch up on, get a sense of what some of the needs in our community are and some of the things we've been talking about. So she wanted to understand what some of the barriers are for housing in our community. And she's in the process of developing a work plan. So she's going to be presenting that, I guess, to the board at some point here coming up in a few weeks. So we drove around and looked at, this is where the Nechako seniors are hoping to build some housing, and just some of the areas in our town that, I showed her some of the empty lots. We drove past Ash's house and he was out in the lawn, and she took a picture, and he was really nice to send how he's going to send her, pictures of his house. And it was very interesting because he's got not only the main floor living, but 2 suites in it as well. So it's just an interesting concept on that lot. She also forwarded me, which I thought and I wasn't aware of it, but the province is working on a standardized housing design project. And that is something that I've been thinking, well, maybe that is something that we could go ahead with, is some standardized house plans and say this house will fit here. But actually the government is working on that. So they're building designs for residential, small scale, multi-unit housing, as well as single family homes. And they're meant to be adopted by local governments and offered and the plans are to be offered at significantly lower costs to anybody interested in building. And the final designs should be available to local governments in this summer. So I found really interesting. That's it for me.
Yeah, just a couple things. Attended NCLGA on May 14th. So there's some highlights and some lowlights for sure. We can talk about some of those later. We got into the forestry discussion. Oh, I do want to say that Judy Greenaway is now the president from Fort St. James. Gladys Attrell's first vice president from Smithers, and Tony Zabinski from Fort St. John is second vice. So. Yeah, we did some forestry workshops there, and it's interesting. I think you look around at all of the communities, and everybody has suffered in one way or another. That's part of NCLGA. Hasn't been one that has not. And I think Kofi and the government really understood that. Also attended the Nechako Watershed Roundtable out at Bednesty. We met halfway for our first face-to-face in a long time. I do want to say that there's lots of work being done on climate change and the watershed with Stephen Drury and that whole group. That's now into phase 3. So I think when you started, it was phase 1 when you were on the roundtable. So we've come a long way, and things are ramping up. We do have enough funding. We did get funding from government at the last minute to keep us going for a year. Sturgeon release, just a reminder, if you're not cooking or parking buses, June 7th, if you can attend, that would be awesome. I think the official 10-year anniversary is at 11:30 or something. We're going to do the 11:30 stuff. Talked to Mayor Moutre this morning. Lots of reports lately. You see it on Global and in stuff about the pellet industry and how they're logging old growth and making it into pellets, and all one-sided and untrue. And so UBCM reached out and they wanted to know if they can send us the global producer of those to have the mayor and others talk about how the industry is not that. Even though Minister Ralston says that, the environmental movement still gets this, we're logging old growth and powering London and Britain and England, all of that, and it's not true. All you got to do is just look. Yeah, you might have some old logs at Burns Lake, at Drax, or at Strathnaver, way down there. There's old logs, but we've got to help out where we can, and I think that's what we're going to try and do and counter that if that comes through. So Mayor will be part of that. Yeah, they're all great for. I agree, but people don't understand that. So we got to get that word out. But other than that, that's what I've done. Thanks.
As long as it works out better for me than it did for the former mayor of Quesnel. Okay, so NCLGA, I was there from the 14th through the 16th. As Brian pointed out, it was a a mixed bag. I'm happy to report you were there for the lowlights, so there weren't too many more lowlights after that. So it definitely was a little bit of a rough start, but went better after that. Always a busy time. You've got the other meetings as well, the Northern Medical Programs Trust. I actually had to leave early because I was speaking to a resolution that the RD put forward, so that makes things complicated. Northern Health had a great meeting with them. They were very shocked that there was only one person, because usually Vanderhoof's a full court press, right? So a little different, but it actually allowed us maybe to get into topics a little bit further, right? When you're less on introduction.
Did that upset them or?
Oh no, they were fine with it. Yeah, no, that was all good. May 17th, there was a provincial hazard update with Municipal Affairs and EMCR. Of course, then we were in the middle of the fires to the north, so it was a bit more of a drastic time, but glad to see people are heading home now, and hopefully there's not too many more of those calls this summer. There were a lot last summer. May 18th, we had the Fraser Lake Community Transition Meeting. These are still ongoing, still some good work coming out of that, so it's an interesting process to go through seeing. We went through our shift reduction one, but this is a national shutdown one, so it's a little bit more in depth, a little bit longer. And coming out of that, had a training discussion with CNC afterwards that was scheduled for later in the day after it. But working there on some of the mining programs that they can bring forward. Now they ran the 16-week program already, right? But that's for coming in off the street to introduction to mining, get a whole bunch of things. They're going to be running some 4-week ones, a lot more focused on the coming from here, getting to here, right? And getting that experience in. They are working with Artemis. They hope to bring Milligan on board as well, but that's yet to happen. But some of the push there was that we're only talking cohorts of 8 people. So it's not big cohorts. So their original plan was to run those programs in Vanderhoof, looking more like we're going to try and find a way to run them in Fraser Lake just because they have the numbers there right now. And I actually think that's a good thing because, you know, we can start it there, but just making sure it moves here when it's ready. And if anything, get some of the bugs out of the way, maybe, right? Before we're doing it here. So good discussion there. And I'm glad to see things are moving along. May 19th had a really good meeting again, regional district that are inside Nechako First Nations and the District of Vanderhoof, the only municipality, sitting down talking about another MOU. So that'll be an in-camera discussion, but I'll bring that forward as we make progress. There was a lot of commitment there and a lot of good feeling in the room. That's really as far as that one got, but that's it was a really good meeting. May 23rd, had a regional district meeting, not too much to report out of that. Okay. That is the council updates. I guess we don't have to adopt them anymore, so I won't do that. We have a couple of information items. Oh, sorry, first is council priorities. And then we move on to 9.1, the RDBN Bill 44. Text amendments for discussion and comment. It's just loading here for me. Did anybody have any comment on that letter? Okay. So, good. And then we have the 9.2 Coastal GasLink Electrification Amendment application for discussion and comment. Councillor Frankel.
So 2 things with the pipeline. Well, I guess it's all one. The electrification amendment. I mean, we got behind a project that was going to use gas for its compressor stations. When we start talking about electrification of the compressor stations, I appreciate that we're probably reducing some greenhouse gas. But these are 6 34 megawatt compressor stations. 1 megawatt powers anywhere from 400 to 900 houses for a year. So this is a massive amount of energy. So I'm concerned about the amount of energy that's going to go into this that could limit Fort St. James, the regional district, or Vanderhoof, because there's one up on the hill, for our future needs for whatever is in our future. It may not be housing, it may be another industry. It may be a mine north of Fort St. James that's going to have struggle with getting power to it. So those, I guess that's all one concern is the power. 34 megawatts is a lot of power for one compressor station. That's more than we use in our houses in Vanderhoof in a year. So I have a really big concern about this project, and I get it's about greenhouse gases, but I'd like to check to see how much greenhouse gas emissions each compressor station would be emitting if it did use natural gas and not electricity. So I'm concerned about that they take power away from any potential that we may need down the road.
Let's keep it to discussion, and then we'll go back and make some sort of a organizing of what we put in. Any other comments, questions? Maybe we'll go straight there. And I think, and maybe Willeen, how would you like this to come in as the feedback we want to give? Oh, sorry.
So we did this once before for the pellet plant in the form of a letter. Well, we were asked for comment and council gave comments, but this, they have a that spreadsheet that they want to fill out. So I think if you just have the issue that you would like them to respond to, then just a resolution that they would like a response to this issue, and then maybe you and I, Councillor Frankel, can fill out that spreadsheet for them. The rows on the spreadsheet after that.
Okay, that sounds good. So do we need any sort of a motion here, or do we just?
So maybe just a motion that, what are you looking for? You want to know what the greenhouse gas emissions are for electric versus gas, and for them to know that it may limit our future needs?
I would it's not so much about the greenhouse gas emissions. It's about taking away power from our area that we may need in the future, especially when we hear there's a power shortage coming. So we're going to put 34 megawatts to one compressor station of power that we could use for our economy and not shipping natural gas to another market. So I would say I don't know, am I opposed, or I would like, does the District of Vanderhoof want more information? And the second part of that, Willeen, might be that this gets CC'd to the provincial government and not buried within Coastal GasLink. The provincial government needs to understand that we're thinking about this seriously, that it could be a waste of energy. And short-term decision, yeah.
So do you want to fill out that form, or do you want to respond in the form of a letter stating it may limit our future economy and we want more information, and that the province be CC'd on that letter?
I move that we write a letter like you just said. Thank you. Yeah. And CC government.
And I would suggest that we frame in there that we want to know what the implications are to the power supply locally, regionally, and provincially. Yeah. I think all three levels are really important, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're getting no benefit from that station. So yeah. I'm thinking of future.
Yeah, that be a hindrance
to a mine or to whatever it is. Yeah.
You know, so now if they're bringing that power and they have to split it off and what are the regional impacts, like you said, Brian?
Okay, I think we're good on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. A vote, yes, all in favor. Carried, sorry. Okay, that's it, we're adjourned. Thank you all.